We're dairy farming in Somerset. We have about 300 or 400 acres that we look after and produce wholesome food. My rant today is about the use of land, our precious soil. Nowadays, we have lots of lovely people coming to live in the countryside, buying up farms, buying up areas to enjoy life in the country. But sadly, a lot of the country's productive land is now being taken out of use. One of the biggest things that make me mad is the lawnmower, the strimmer, often exercised on a Sunday morning when most people would like to have a lie-in, if you're not milking cows, that is, and having a bit of peace and quiet. Not only does the lawnmower and strimmer destroy the habitat for our wildlife, but it also creates noise, it eats up our ozone layer, etc., etc. Now, I could go on forever about such things, but I want to widen the subject a little bit. What drives people to do this? Well, men like machines, and so we have lots of men that love to be in control of power tools and that type of thing. So we've got that little problem. We've got this business that everybody must tidy everything, sanitize the countryside, turn it into suburbia. Now, I would like to ask you, for those that are as old as me, to think back to what the countryside used to look like. Lots of smaller fields, lots of flowers, meadows, unkept areas, teeming with wildlife. And I get really cross when people think it's down to us, as food producers, that have destroyed this. It's not. It's cheap food policies, it's bigger production units, and lots of people that are keeping their bit of land for mowing, for their own personal delight, rather than the greater good. We are really lucky to live in this country with very, very productive soils. It's only an accident of birth that you and I are here and that we're not in an area of the world that does not have productive soils. In my book, it is wrong for us to abuse that. It's a powerful abuse. People across the world are starving, and here we are wasting our foods and wasting the land that is able to produce those foods. So I'd ask you to just think about that, think about land use, and what we could, as people, each and every one of us could do about it. And while I'm on the countryside, I'd like to just open it up a little bit more. All these lovely buildings, or the remains of these buildings that we're privileged to be in amongst today, wonderful habitats. In our areas of the countryside, we now have lots and lots of crime. And the answer to crime is to shut the windows, bolt the doors. So many of our garages that used to house bats, swallows, owls, etc., are barred from those creatures. So spare a thought for the rest of the world that lives around us, and think about those animals that also depend on the English, Welsh, Scottish, Irish countryside, and further on around the world. All I ask you is to just think about the little bit that each and every one of us can do. Don't waste. If you buy something, if you put something on your plate, use it. Don't abuse it. If you've got control of land, make sure that you remember it's not just your land, it's for generations to come after you, and it also should be shared with the wider world, the nature world around you. Thank you for listening.